Actually, let's look at the orders that are coming in on the order book, right? Large limit orders. So what do we have? Let's just look at this for now. Okay. So, large limit orders. Let's see what we have here. Above price. Okay, we have some short orders above price. These are okay. These are like no major kind of big orders. Okay. These are sell orders, as you can see. Ask, sell. Let's see if we have anything up here. Now, these orders are, sometimes can be pulled. Okay, so they don't necessarily always have to be orders that will be executed. So we have to, oh, here we go. 83,000 is a 35. Oh, well, that was 11 days ago. So that doesn't count really, or does it? I don't know. Okay, so this was one at 83, 11 days ago. On April 24th, as you can see here. Oh, there's one here an hour ago. We have some big orders 25 minutes ago. Oh, shit. Another one at 22, 3 hours ago. 2 days ago. 37 minutes ago at 83, 350. How about buy orders? Let's look at buy orders. $82. I'm expecting price to come back. Oh gosh, there we go. We got a market break of structure already. I'm expecting price to take out liquidity at the Asia low. And yeah, sweep the 800 EMA on the 3-minute chart. Okay. The 800 EMA on the 3-minute chart. Yeah, so on the 4-hour chart, that would be the 12 EMA right here. Okay. These bands are 12 and 21 EMA. So I'll expect a sweep of that. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Let's see. All right. Well, all right. Let me just get, go through what I'm looking at on this chart. I'll go one by one. Okay. So the first thing we have is the footprint chart, okay, and the footprint of each 15-minute candle. We are on the 15-minute time frame. And the footprint chart will basically tell you the delta. The delta is the buys minus the sell will give you the delta. So here we see, okay, positive delta on an uptrend. And this is for any time frame. Okay, so I'm doing the 15-minute because it is I guess it's probably what most people use. I use a 3-minute to enter, but I do use the higher time frame to actually see what price is doing. Okay. So here, okay, if you look at this delta chart here, if you look at this, chart, this uptrend that we've been having with BTC, you can see that this is a clear uptrend, obviously, right? And what we look at as per delta is we look at, okay, the effort, okay, versus the result. Now, what does that mean? The effort versus the result, okay, on delta means that if we have a lot of effort, so we have a lot of buying on these 15-minute candles up here, and the result is showing that price is, sending it's moving up, right? So this is effort selling, and the result is actually in line with the effort. Okay. Now here, for example, you have negative delta on a downtrend, mini downtrend, but anyway. And here you can see there is negative delta. And so the effort is that the price is going down. Okay, so that is result and effort are in harmony. Now, what we look for with delta is divergence or some kind of absorption, meaning that if there is a lot of positive delta, okay, for example, if there's a lot of positive delta up here and price is refusing to go higher, that means that there is absorption. If there's a lot of negative delta at the bottom, okay, and price is refusing to drop further, that means that there is absorption. So there is no result as per effort for the delta. Okay. So that's just a quick, let me just see in the chart here if we can see, how we try to spot delta at key levels. Okay, here's a good example. Here's a great example, actually. All right, here on these 15-minute candles, as you can see, we had a lot of positive delta, okay, right here. But price, was consolidating. All right, so that means that the effort that was put into, or the buying, okay, with the positive delta, the effort that was put into here was yielding, no results. So price did not move up higher. Instead, it went down. So that's a great example of absorption. All right, and if we can find things, for example, on at the bottom. Let's have a look here. Oh, here. Let's see if we have some positive delta here. The platform is a little iffy sometimes. It's not as quick as I would like it to be, but anyway. Okay, here. Here we have, well, I guess negative delta. Do we have more negative than positive? Yes, we do. But price did not move down further. So that's a great example of absorption at, at a I guess at a key level. I'm not sure if this is a key level because I don't have the, I don't have the high of the day and whatnot on this. All right. So you look for, when you're looking at delta, okay, you don't need to go into the candle, for example, and look at these, and look at these numbers. All right. To see whether or not the auction is finished, whether or not, if there's zero up here, because I used to do that. And that is just, it's a waste of energy, really. All right. You don't need to do that. All you need to do is look at the delta and see what is happening. Now we have a speed of tape 338, average is 158. So something is happening. Let's just go look at price. There we go. Yeah. All right. So we then come back to test up here to fill in this little gap. Instead, we're going down. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's go back to current price because that is what is most interesting. If you're in a long, you might want to protect your longs. New York is in what? 22 minutes. All right, I'm going to close up some stuff because this is like really... Close. Okay. Now here, let's go back to price. All right. Okay, can we see absorption yet? No, we cannot. Okay. Um, we have negative delta, prices going down. It seems like it's a normal thing to me. Okay, let's go on to the 3 minute. Oh, yeah. Okay, we on the 3 minute chart, we have a lot of negative delta, prices going down. So that is yielding the result of the delta. We have a little positive, price went a little bit up. Okay, so yeah. All right, so that is it for footprint. We're going to keep the footprint on. The next thing we're going to look at is the TPO, time price opportunity indicator. Actually, I'll just remove the footprint for now. We'll look at the TPO. All right, and the TPO is your time price opportunity. Oh man, it's a tiny bit annoying, but I guess everybody's on-chain today. I mean, looking at what price is doing. All right, on the TPO, we have some water. Gonna mute myself. Okay, great. Now on the TPO, what we have and what I look at is quite simple. All right, these are where the gap, okay, are formed on these little imbalances, these volume imbalances on the time price opportunity, um, I guess, indicator. Okay, so if we have a fair value gap that was formed here and it is actually not respected, a wick does not mean that it's disrespected. Oh, this is so annoying, this thing. Okay, you see here, there's a little gap. All right, these are imbalances where, there was not a lot of trading in this area, so gaps are formed, okay, creating an imbalance between buys and sells. And so price will always come back to test those imbalances, okay? Smart money concept will call that fair value gaps, and that's actually how I learned about these things. So but I like to call it gap because they've existed forever, and it is what it is. Now, if this candle, like disrespects this gap here, this imbalance, then I would expect it to come back here. Now, let's go one by one. What is this, all of these things? We have, first of all, our sell tail, and your sell tail acts as as resistance. Okay, then after that we have, and I always talk about this, but it's like it's almost perfect. It works like a textbook for me, for everybody actually, right? So sell tail, and then we have the buy tail under here. Okay, and this usually acts as support. Now your resistance and support will never be there forever. Okay, eventually one, or either one of them, it will get rammed through or disrespected. So for now, this is a great way to see how price is going. The middle line here will be your point of control, and the point of control, okay, the point of control is where participants in the market actually found the most value. So price tends to always come back to this area to to trade, to it always comes back to where participants found the most value. Okay, so that is your point of control. Another thing we have, okay, here is your initial balance. So your initial balance high, it's on the little blue line here, and the initial balance low. Okay, so IBH, IBL. Okay, initial balance high, initial balance low. All right. So those are areas too that price likes to revisit. Now, what I will be looking at today to tell me whether or not we're going to go down further or whether or not we're going to push up is number one, a disrespect of this imbalance over here. Okay, as you can see here, also we have the value area high, we have the value area low. You have these little labels right here that will tell you what it is. Um, so what I'd be looking for, I'm gonna stop the music. I don't think we need the music right now. There we go. So what I'm gonna be looking for is number one, price to disrespect this imbalance over here, come back to the point of control. Is it gonna respect the point of control or is it gonna break down further? If it breaks down further, I would expect it to either hold support, okay, at the buy tail, or completely disrespect and break down further. Okay, and if it breaks down the buy tail, well, um, I guess we're going for a further move when we look at price. But this is just an explanation of what the TPO, time price opportunity profile, okay, is and how I look at it. All right, so right now price is, if we incorporate also the footprint in there, you'll see, okay, that at the sell tail, okay, we have, all right, this little wick, and this is usually your uh, order block, okay? And so price, even if it comes back down here to the point of control, it may even go back up here to take out, there's a fair value gap here. It may go out to take, to fill in that imbalance and then come back down. I don't know, let's see. And that is for the TPO. All right, so let's leave the TPO, let's leave the footprint, or let's actually remove it. So liquidity heat map. This is where money is sitting. So the liquidity heat map, okay, will show you where orders are resting, okay, waiting to be filled. So above price will be short orders and below price will be long orders that are waiting to get filled. Also, in the liquidity heat map, what you'll see are stop losses, okay? So those are orders waiting to also be executed, all right? So it creates a liquidity pool, really, all right? So what you're looking at here are, liquidity walls. So they're both orders waiting to get filled and as well stop losses waiting to get, hit, or that are, that participants are defending. Now, if you look at the next thing, which is the order book, all right, and I'm just going to bring that up here. Order book profile, there we go. Okay, here. Now, what you would notice with the order book profile, before we go on to the order book profile, actually, if you look at the liquidity heat map, you can adjust the, this little thing here. You can adjust it to how much volume or liquidity you would like to see. If you put it, to all, then it gets really busy and you can't see anything really. All right. So what I like to do is put it to like 100, or, I play around with it. Doesn't matter. I mean, I just want to see where liquidity is sitting. All right. It is actually something like this. Well, it is actually like this. Okay. Like your liquidity heat map right here. All right. It's this basically. All right. But it's in real time, and it's, it's yeah, by the hour or whatever. All right. And this too, you can adjust like that. So there's a lot of liquidity here, okay, and there is less up here. Anyway, so back to the liquidity heat map. Now here you can reduce, the threshold, okay, of what you see. So like, let's say for example, I'll do it like that. You can use your your keyboard to do it as well, because it's quite painful with with the mouse. But anyway, so what we look at in the liquidity heat map is quite simple. All right, we look at where liquidity is resting. So again, liquidity meaning stop orders, large orders waiting to get filled. And what you would see is the order book, okay, which I like to look at hand in hand with the liquidity heat map. The order book, okay, which are orders waiting to get filled. So these are limit orders that are, that have been entered on the book and they're waiting to get filled. What you would see is that they would usually go near the liquidity, where a lot of liquidity is. All right, so right now we have a large order here waiting to get filled. And obviously the green ones are buy orders and the red ones are sell orders. Look at this. He just, this person just like, or this participant, institution, whatever, they just had a large order here. Now, another thing is that I don't expect price to disrespect the sell tail anymore because I'm looking at how it's going. I'm looking at price first, okay? And this price is telling me that we already had a market structure break right here. So it's telling me, okay, that we're not, if we come back to retest it, I don't know, we're not going to, continue up on the 3-minute chart. So I don't know. Let's see. As far as the liquidity heat map here, okay, you'll see big orders, okay, that are waiting at liquidity levels, all right? So this is the order book, and obviously you can see orders being added and removed. Another thing to consider and understand is that in the order book, okay, what happens sometimes is that participants, whales, institutions, whatever, they actually place orders, okay, for price to come to that area, okay, or go to that area, and then they'll remove the order, okay. So as you can see, there's a lot of things happening here. Uh, yeah, so they're placing the order, they're removing the order, and also price is moving. So what happens is that if price is moving, okay, and that's why we look at price first. If price is moving, these institutions, they will try to run after price or, place their order differently and things like that. Not every institution or whale is a good trader. All right. And that I was really surprised to see that because, um, yeah, I thought they were like, wow. But anyway, so these are the orders here. But if I look onto, for example, over here, up, I can see also in real time. All right, I'll explain the speed of tape spike in a minute. If you look in real time, you'll see, okay, the same exact thing you're seeing here, but in numbers, okay? You'll see all the orders that are being placed. Right under here, we have a huge one at 81. Well, I mean, they're moving so fast, I don't, I can't keep up. So I usually remove this because, unless I need to see where price is going or, if they're pulling the order or whatnot. But yeah, sometimes it's like spoof orders and, things like that. And it's up to you to pay attention to it or not. I mean, you do pay attention to it, but like, this large buy order here, for example, all right, it's just waiting. And yeah, I mean, we just got rammed through on this gap. So I don't know. Maybe, just a little push up to go back up here and then you take profit and that's it. So that is the order book. Okay, I'm going to remove the order book profile now. All right, but it goes hand in hand. And you'll see that if you stare, basically, if you stare at the liquidity heat map with the order book, okay, you'll begin to notice that, well, they go hand in hand and the big orders obviously go where liquidity is. And don't forget the numbers on these liquidity walls, okay, or pools is also, okay, orders that are waiting to get filled, which is also in the order book, okay, as you can see here. Oops. As you can see here, okay? So if there's this number here, for example, okay, okay, well, they're pulling it so fast, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, let's forget about that for now. Or I think that's enough on the order book profile. Yeah, so up here, as you can see, it's hard for me, okay, to say that price will come back and push through this resistance or sell tail wall and go and grab all of this liquidity up here. this is a very strong wall, all right? It could be orders that are resting, it could be spoof orders, it could be, a lot of different things, but yeah, this is a huge wall up here. Okay, so that's for liquidity, the liquidity heat map. Let's remove that. Now you can actually see, and guys, don't forget to hit the like, okay? Now let's go on to liquidity heat map so smart money concept structure. Now this is actually a cool thing that we have on here because this will tell you as per orders, okay, and on-chain data where the order blocks are actually sitting, okay? So for example here, okay, on the sell tail at resistance, we have an bearish order block. Okay, it's on the 50-minute chart, so we have this order block here. Let's get rid of this. So we got rammed through. So that tells me that, well, it's probably going to be a shit show very soon. Don't forget, we're also Wednesday, and Wednesday is known, okay, back-tested. I've back-tested maybe 200 trades, and I've also taken 5 years of Binance, data, and I ran it through ChatGPT, and I was looking for actually when the midweek reversal actually happen, and 70% of the times, if I'm not mistaken, 65 or 70% of the time, it is on Wednesday. Now, is it Wednesday at noon? Is it Wednesday at night? I don't know, but Wednesday at night my time because I'm in Europe. But anyway, so we're also preparing for the midweek reversal, which is if you have an uptrend from, let's say, Monday to Wednesday, then it reverses in the opposite direction, but not without a lot of pain. Okay, so does it happen all the time? No, it doesn't happen all the time, but it is there's high probability of it happening. And as a trader, we try to speak in probabilities, right? Because nothing is for certain. Okay, great. So now after that, we have so here on the SMC structure, you can see the only thing I keep is the order block and the fair value gaps, okay? Because that is hard to see in here. But if you look at the settings, okay, you have all of these different things that you can actually look at. All right. Liquidity sweep. That's interesting sometimes, but I don't need to see that as I know, I have another tool here that I'll show you. But yeah, so FVG show history, things like that. So yeah. Oh, and by the way, if you guys want to try out CoinAnk, you can, sign up and get 1 week free. Try them out and yeah, just, have a look at order flow for a week. There is a link in the description, so you guys can use that if you would like. All right. So that is it for SMC structure. So again, the only thing that I use on the SMC structure is the fair value gaps and the order block. Actually, I should put the breaker block in there as well. Come to think about it. Oh, I do have breaker blocks. Okay, good, good. So this is an order block and a breaker block, by the way. If you didn't know, a breaker block is a failed order block. All right, so this is an order block here. If this fails, then we get another order block that becomes a breaker block. If I'm not mistaken, I don't use breaker blocks, but I think that's what I understand breaker blocks to be. All right, next thing we have, so let's remove the SMC structure. The next thing we have is the liquidation heat map. And this is interesting because here on this liquidation heat map, if you look at the settings, okay, liquidation map, if you look at the settings, you'll see low leverage. So low leverage is like, I guess, 10x, medium leverage, and high leverage, okay? So you have all of these different leverage, okay, areas, okay, that price likes to come to. Now, what I've noticed is that price actually likes to come closest to the low leverage guys, taking out the high leverage as well, obviously, but come to the blue area. And why is that? That is because the the closer it comes, it takes out, first of all, the medium and the higher leverage. And then also for the blue areas, the lower leverage participants, what will happen is that they need to add margin to push their liquidation, okay, price up and to save their positions, okay? So right now we're a little further away here, but all of this juicy liquidity that is staying, here and here, for example, could possibly be where price wants to go and eventually coming to the low leverage area. Now, I'm not a high leverage trader at all. Okay, I continue with low leverage meaning between 10 and 25x. I guess 25x is like medium to low. But yeah, that is what I'm comfortable using and that is what I continue using. All right. So this is just telling you where the liquidations in real time, is resting. All right. So we have up here, we have here, and we have here. All right. So this is a medium liquidation or leverage, okay, amount. It'd be interesting if price came back up and just rammed through all of that. Anyway, so that is my liquidation heat map, and I use it, or liquidation map rather, and I use it a lot because, yeah, I find it interesting to watch, as an added confluence of where I think price wants to go. All right, so let's close that up here. Oh, we can leave that actually. Okay, next, after the liquidation heat map, what we have, okay, I was just checking to see if I'm still live since nobody's chatting with me. Anyway, after the liquidation map, we have large orders. And now this is the interesting part. Okay, large orders. What are they? Just like the the order book profile. Okay, here you have large orders. Okay, from the order book profile, as well as executed orders on the order book profile. All right, I'm just checking price to see what's going on here. We have New York open. So New York is open. What I expect is that it gives one more push up, actually. All right, and then that's what I'm expecting, a retest of the breakup structure on the 3-minute chart. Okay. Now on the order book profile, what I like to look at is, where orders are resting and executed orders. The dark red, these are executed orders, and yesterday and day before yesterday, Binance was just on a rip selling, just selling. But then Binance is also one of the largest exchanges, okay? And so it is probably expected that they sell, but they've been selling all, the whole up move, all right? So on the large order, what you're going to see is where orders are actually resting. I'm going to go down to the 3-minute chart because there we go. All right, you're going to see where orders are resting. Okay, now the dark red, like I said, ooh, we just had an executed order. Now the dark red is executed sell orders. Okay, the lighter red are orders that are, waiting to get filled. Okay, or it's booking. Can they pull the orders that are waiting to get booked or filled? Yes, they can. Could they pull the order that are dark red? No, they cannot because it's been executed, right? So right now, 15:29, so that is 9:29 New York time, we just had, okay, 20.24 million fulfilled, okay, sell order. Wow. Let's have a look at the 1 minute and see what that. Hmm. Okay. Um. Okay, so here you have also, so you have this huge sell order right here. And if you look at the order book here, you'll probably see that as well. Okay. And then you have another order at 82.5 for 39.31, 82.5. So up here, 39.1. So it's the same thing, actually. You're looking at the same thing. All right. Here, you just see it. You see exactly visually where the orders are placed. And here, you see a list of where the orders are on the book. Okay. So it's up to you to see, one or the other. So here we have a large order at 39.31. It doesn't mean because it's a large order that price is going to go up or down, right? You have to watch price first. Right now, on the 3 minute, we have a clear break of structure. All right, so I don't, we have to see what New York wants to do before entering a trade. Then after that, up here, you have 1.6. Okay, these small ones. Oh, and here you can see it's OKX. All right. So it's very interesting to see actually because this entire sell-off during the up move were all Binance or at least 90% Binance. So that was really strange to me. I mean, I don't understand how the order book and, the exchanges work, but I found it very strange that all of these were Binance and hardly any OKX. And this morning, when I looked at it, most of these are OKX now. So this one was Binance, but yeah, most of these are OKX. So is OKX trying to catch up with? Did Binance, prepare or have, what do you call it? Did they prepare their positioning? Okay, and now OKX was a little late on positioning, and is trying to catch up. I'm not sure how that works. If you guys know how that works, drop it in the comment or in a chat. Everybody's so quiet. Or just, send me a little like or something. Anyway, so here you can see all of these OKX orders. Okay, so we have spot um, and perpetual contracts. Okay, all right, and that is it for orders. Okay, now let me explain what the spike is. Okay, so a spike, a speed of tape spike over here is basically the speed of price action. Okay, so let's say for example here you see average 77.5 and all of a sudden it increased to more than that. Okay, a large amount of that. It will get a notification, and that is very interesting because it tells me that there's momentum in the move. The higher the spike compared to the average, okay, the more momentum in the move. That is a very interesting. So there's a lot of momentum. Now the spike can be to the upside, to the downside. The spike is just a notification that tells me, okay, well, oh, look at this one. There's 216, average was 107. So there's an additional spike. So this is spiking down. Jeez. Well, I hope you guys are in a short. All right. I called it market break of structure right here. Well, it didn't come up as high as I'd like it to, but anyway. No, I'm kidding. I didn't call it, anything. I'm just looking at price here. Oh, here we go. Here's another spike, 347, average 138. Okay. Now, New York session, be careful because New York session will trick you for the first 5 minutes into one direction and then it will push it to the next direction, right? Is that the case here? I don't know. Um, they'll also move in one direction for the first half an hour or 45 minutes, and then they will, reverse that, all right, to the opposite direction. So if you don't have a system for New York Open, okay, for example, I'm already in a trade. If you don't have a system for New York Open, and you cannot deal with the volatility, okay, of New York, then a lot of times what you can do is wait, okay, for the dust to settle, for the noise, for the volatility to settle a little bit, and then enter on your, for example, one of my systems is, um, market break of structure with a gap, whether that be a bullish or bearish gap, depending on the direction I'm taking. And yeah, and enter there. So that I would usually wait for at about 10:15 New York time, or whenever I find it after, the first 30 minutes of New York volatility is like has settled. All right. So that is the spike here on this. After that, okay, let's see here. Okay, we have a buy order that was filled. Okay, so the initial amount here you can see was 409 million. Okay, 415 million was filled. Just because you see a buy and sell order doesn't mean that price is going up or down. It's Bitcoin, so there is a lot of there's a lot of participants in the market, right? Here we had a full filled. Okay, so this was fully filled, 603% more than what um, the initial order was for. Okay, as you can see here, 603. So the initial amount was 1 million and traded was 6.03 million, and that's a long order. Okay, so that was executed. What is price doing? Let's see if we find an order block here. Okay, here we go. So this is an order block. Hmm. Okay. We have a sell order here from Binance too. So wait, what? So here we have a sell order, okay, that just came in. 1529. Actually, no, 1529, not. Okay, so this was fully filled for 20.24 million worth of BTC. Okay, 247 BTC. And this is where it gets very interesting, guys. Now, under here, we have two bullish fair value gaps. And what I expect is, because price loves to fill in any efficiencies or fair value gaps. Okay, so we have one up here. Price is very far away from up here. So the point of uh, least resistance is under here, okay, in my opinion. So if this does not act as resistance, as you can see here, we had two order blocks here, 1, 2, okay, and that was clear resistance over here. Okay, so now when price comes back here, will it be resistance? We also have a huge liquidation or a large leverage, higher leverage, medium leverage liquidation point over here. All right, let's see what's going on with the liquidity heat map. Okay, how much liquidity is sitting here? Let's have a look. Yeah, so this is a huge wall. Okay, right here we have a huge liquidation area here. Let's see what the order book is telling us. All right, we have a lot of buy orders coming in, buy and sell orders. Okay, large orders, order book profile. Yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of that for now. Well, let's have a look at what's happening here. Okay, let me remove the liquidity heat map. Here we go. Okay, so we have the fair value gap, or the two fair value gaps. Okay, so maybe price takes out one and then reverses, or maybe it doesn't even come here because, that's too close. That's a huge sell order. Yeah, Binance has been selling non-stop. Okay, so let's move on to large orders. Okay, so we got that. Let's remove the large orders. Big liquidations. I love this. So there's a huge liquidation sitting here. Okay, we have a speed. Okay, So these are your large liquidation levels, okay? And this is the reason why I think this resistance might hold, because there was also, it's an order block, there was a large liquidation, um, and yeah, it is resistance for now. All right, so here you can see all the large liquidations that happened previously. All right, here it's 6.14 million. Up here it was 2.52. Here 2.35, and so on. All right, let's remove that. Okay, big trades. Ooh, there's a lot of spike. There's a lot of impulse moves, spike moves. Big trades. Okay, big trades. Okay, well, this could be these are just big executed trades. Now, before, what I used to do is I used to, okay, follow big trades. So this, there's a big trade here, a long, okay. What I would do is then I would go long, and I got like, I made just wasn't good. I mean, I made a lot of mistakes doing that, a lot of, stop outs and stop loss hits and whatnot. So that wasn't good. All right. Because as you can see here, after this big trade, okay, we have an order block, a little, liquidation, and then we go back down. All right, so that's big trades. People like to see it, but yeah, I mean, I look at it sometimes, just to see what's happening. But whoa, look at that, 332. That's a huge impulse move. I'd be surprised if we don't take out this over here. After that, we have order book profile, and well, yeah, you guys know what that is. So let's put everything back on, okay? And let's have a look at cumulative volume delta. We don't need big trades on there. Oh, we don't need it. All right. So these guys were taken out. All right. These guys were taken out. This is the order block. This is the fair value gap, okay, under here. And these guys are all getting liquidated. Look at that volume. Look at that spike increase. Jeez. Look at that candle. It's interesting to see, you know, price is one thing. So when you look at a naked chart, okay, it's interesting to see um, how it works, and, just how price is moving, and price always comes first. Um, but what I actually, and by the way, my candle is the price volume um, here. Let me just show you what it is. So this is where you see the fight. Okay, so my candle that I use is the price volume PVSRA, price volume, okay, support and resistance. And what the candles are is that it's color coded, okay. I actually built that on TradingView with PineScript and ChatGPT at the time. And basically what it does is it tells you when there is an increase or decrease in volume on both the upside and the downside. And that's why I use that's why I use that PVSRA candle. Okay. So as you can see here, this was a huge, so it doesn't use the candles are not like your red and green candles, your normal red and green candles. All right. Wow. Let's see if here gets defended. So here, okay, as you can see here on these candles, the green candle is an increase in volume, a 200% increase in volume to the upside. All right. Your gray candles here is a normal red candle, so normal volume. The white candle is a normal green candle, normal volume. The magenta candle is 150% decrease in volume to the downside. The red candle is 200% decrease in volume to the downside. And the blue candle is 100% increase in volume to the upside. It's free on TradingView. If you guys want, you can go check that out. Okay. And of course, let's go back here. It's more interesting. In my it's called FTB trading. All right. In my indicator, okay, so I have the PVSRA candles. I also have the 12 and the 21 EMA that I use. I have the 800 EMA and the 200 EMA. All right, that's what I use, and the VWAP. The reason why I created it is because at the time I had a free trading view, or just like the basic one where you're allowed like one or two indicators. And I tried to put everything in one indicator so that, yeah, I don't, I just needed one indicator, right? So okay, so this fair value gap is getting disrespected, totally disrespected. And as you can see here, the delta is actually yielding, okay, or sorry, the effort, negative delta, is yielding, okay, results. Should we put some music back on? Okay. Now let's look at price. What I use, okay, for price, and I use the 3-minute chart for this one because if I'm scalping or whatever, intraday trading as well, I use the higher time frame to get my bias, but right now I know my bias is maybe just a retest actually of the 50% Asia and the 800 EMA, okay, on the 3-minute, and then another push up. Okay, now the way I would find out if it's a complete um, downtrend, okay, is number one, price. But also I use the EMA. My EMAs are a little different than the typical EMAs, okay? So what I would do is for every push up, okay, if my EMA respects the point, here we go. Let's maybe the 3-minute chart is a little busy, so let's do it on the 15. It's probably better. All right, so here's a good example. Oh, here we have the EMA right here. EMA, the fibs. Okay, so my fibs are a little different. So I'll measure the high and low. And by the way, if you'd like to see, okay, this is the settings for that I use on my fibs. All right. Um, I draw it from obviously the high to the low. Okay, here we go. I can even go to this, the last retrace that we had, which was here, to the very high, okay, which was up there. If it comes back down to 75, then I know that something has changed in the uptrend, and we are preparing now for a change, a market structure break, or a change in character, or whatever, a trend change, okay? So if it, like from here, okay, to up here, if it respects the 0.25, the 0.25, if it respects the 0.25 or even comes in the middle, okay, between the 0.25 and the 0.5, then I would expect continuous momentum, upside, uptrend. All right, now here it's, yeah, if it comes here, then that's, that is it. This is the discount zone, and this would be my premium zone up here. Okay, and that's what I use. Oh, and that is, yeah, no, that is not in my indicator. Okay. Um, Another thing that I've noticed with my with the bands, okay, this is called the so this band is actually, so I'm in the real world. If you guys are in the real world, trading campus, I've been there for the last 2 years. Amazing. I wouldn't know anything about trading. I would still be a degen trader, all right, if I did not join the real world. Andrew Tate is not the one actually running the real world, but that's where I am. Amazing mentor, amazing professor, trading professor. I couldn't do all of this without him. And so basically, he shared his, so these are called his Michael bands. Okay, so this is his bands. And what happens is it's a great way to look at trends. When the bands are green, okay, we have an uptrend. When the bands turn red, okay, it's a downtrend. Now, obviously, on the 3 minute, 15-minute, time frame, the smaller the time frame, the noisier, okay, the trend. However, if you look at the higher time frame, for example, the 4 hour or 1 day, you can see it's clear trends. All right, clear trends. When the bands turn, okay, is when we have the trends. Anyway, the daily is even better. So if you're a swing trader, it's just amazing. So that's what I use, by the way. All right. Yeah. We are waiting to see. Okay. Let's go back here. Liquidity heat map. All right. So yeah, that fair value gap has been disrespected. So I'd expect it to come and, fill the whole thing eventually. Liquidity heat map. There we go. All right, give me a minute, guys. I'll put some music on, but I need a minute. Let's see if it's playing. Oh, there we go. Okay, give me a minute. I will be back. Okay, we are back. Let's see here. Okay. Now let's look at on the 50-minute chart. Let's look at CVD, cumulative volume delta. Let's look at OI. Okay, so cumulative volume delta, spot, perps, and OI, open interest. Okay. Okay, so everything is down. So yeah, so price is down. The chart does get busy with everything on it, actually. Um, all right. We have price down, CVD spot down, CVD perps down, and OI, open interest, is down. All right. Okay. Let me see. Where is my... I'm just looking for that I have to do my CVD perps. Where did I put it? So you'll see price come back here and fill up this fair value gap. Or is it going to get respected? Look at that. All right, it filled it up. Okay. Just going to go on the 15-minute. I'm just changing the threshold of the liquidity heat map. Otherwise it gets way too noisy. All right, I think that's better. Okay. Um Okay, great. So we're at the point of control. Okay, so that is where participants actually found the most value. Okay, over here, point of control. Okay, let's have a look at price. Oh yeah. So like I said, we're gonna go and at least retest, or we're gonna take out the 50% Asia liquidity. Okay, if you look here. And we may take out as well, okay, the Asia low liquidity. And that is what I'm looking for. We may eventually, all right, that's the short. Damn, it is falling fast. Okay, let's have a look here. We can do CVD. So here we have price going down, okay, delta down. We have effort versus result is yielding, okay, so that's good. Point of control is getting broken. Okay, we have the value area low, which is this area right here, this orange line here. Okay, and then now what we're going to look for, okay, is will the buy tail, the support, okay, or the buy tail, is that going to be a, is that going to act as resistance? Now, if we break the buy tail or the support, then yeah, I think we're gonna go down to the Asia low. Here we have CVD spot. CVD spot is real, actual. These are participants that are buying the actual Bitcoin. All right. Whereas CVD perp, okay, this is speculative, so that's leverage. Okay, so both of them are going down. Open interest, nothing else is opening. Okay, no new participants in the market. It's all going down along with price. So I expect more continuation. All right, if you look at price itself on, oh yeah, uh, on the 15-minute, okay, if you would like to call that, this here is a clear market structure break, okay, right here on the 15-minute. Here, well, like I've said before, okay, on the 3-minute time frame. All right, that was a clear market structure break here. And well, price is just free falling right now. It's probably, and I'm sure, I mean, I've said this on my X account, okay? Oops, here we go. Oh. All right, here we have, I said it actually on my X account that large orders. These are all, this is like a shit. These are tons of large orders. 90% of these large orders, sell orders, were by Binance for the last 2 days. Um, hmm. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna hit record. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Okay, good. Everything is working properly. Okay. We are free falling, okay? Okay, great. So okay, so everybody was, actually running in one direction. And yeah, CVD is now telling you what it is. I did. I said it. Ooh, look at that. Hmm. Okay, now there are some CVD combos that I like to actually use. Okay. Um, Here what we're looking at is quite simple. Okay. Spot CVD down, perp CVD down. Okay, so both sides are selling and price is down. Okay, so there is uh, basically trend continuation to the downside, is what I'm seeing. All right, it's quite simple. I mean, that's harmony, right? Spot CVD down, perp CVD down, and price is down, which is seller in control. Okay, it's harmony. Okay, so there is basically right now we're looking at everything open interest down. So there's full alignment. Okay, maybe that was Binance buying for the last 2 days that I mentioned. You know, I mentioned it, I think, in yesterday's live or on my X. I'm not sure. But anyway, I mentioned that, there's like a huge amount of very suspicious buying from Binance. It could have been because it's one of the largest exchanges. So it could have been that. I don't know. I'm not that experienced to know, what is manipulate. Yeah, when I see manipulation or not. Not yet, anyway. But right now, we can see sellers are in full control. There is no absorption on the delta. So if you look at the delta here, all right, um, you see clear down delta. There's no absorption. Well, maybe you can say, okay, well, there is positive delta here, so buyers took over. But yeah, the absorption is that the sellers are in control and they're absorbing, okay, the passive sellers, the passive sellers, so the limit order sellers are absorbing, okay, the price, the buy orders. And that is what we are seeing right now, okay? Um, so this is a bearish flow, and there is usually, okay, when you see everything down and harmony, obviously, there is continuation. All right. So I hope you're not in a long, or if you are, well, protect yourself. And that's what we are seeing right now. Let's have a look. So here we have, so these are the liquidation bubbles, okay? Here we have a huge liquidation that this candle, this 15-minute candle, this, participant just got liquidated, or these order areas, just this area just got liquidated 1.36 million. That's 20 BTC. Damn. All right, this is the order book. So these are the orders being piled in. Let's have a look at the liquidity heat map. Let's all right. The order book profile is kind of distracting. So we can look here and see basically the same thing, okay, in real time. If we look at the history, okay, what happened in the order book, we can see all of the longs and shorts that got filled, all right, that was executed. 1 minute ago, okay, we have a, this was 1 minute ago. Oh no, this was 15:29. Okay, so that is at 9:29 New York time. All right, we had that famous that we saw together, the 20.24 million, okay, that got, by Binance, that got filled. The thing is, so these are liquidation bubbles, okay? So all of these shorts up here got liquidated, all right? Now it's the longs turn. Let's see what price is doing. All right, so as you can see here, we touched the 800 EMA. The 800 EMA is actually a great way to watch where price, wants to go when you're on for retest on the 3 minute and the 15 minute, especially. Okay. Yeah. Well, price didn't go up to my second, uh, my second swing high up here. So it just went here and then it just like fell through. But all through yesterday and day before, okay, what I've noticed is that Binance was just selling, okay, on the way up, okay, they were selling. So I'm thinking on the way down here, they're buying, obviously, right? Large orders. Okay, so all of this up here, if you guys look at it, well, CVD, spot, perps, OI, that is all in harmony going down with price. All right, so you're not expecting too much there. Now, if we look at this chart here, okay, if we look at the large executed orders, okay, over here, these are all Binance, all of them in very large amounts. They were selling to you while you were buying and FOMOing, okay? CZ was selling to you. How great is that? I mean, that is not funny at all, actually. But anyway, so here they're all like, and the thing that was very suspicious that that's when I took notice was these tiny bits of orders. Okay, let's remove the liquidity heat map. The thing that was crazy was these this platform drives me crazy. Was where is it? So this is today's session. This is the TPO profile, time price opportunity profile. Okay, yeah, here. Oh, here. Oh my gosh, this was crazy. So let's just remove the TPO profile for now. Okay. This is how I actually noticed that they were on like this huge sell-off. Okay. Here, okay, they had, you know, these orders were entered in the order book and executed like, in seconds. So it didn't really appear on the order book as a limit order way in advance. All right. So here are these little orders that were placed. And they're all Binance, all for the same amount, all at the same time. Basically 1 second in between, okay, each order. If you look here, you'll see them here like this. You put your mouse, you move your cursor. Oh, this is so annoying. Platform is super slow, and I don't know why. Maybe we'll remove that one. Okay, so if you look at each of these orders, they're like a block of orders, one after the other. And, I was like, okay, well, maybe that's an iceberg order, meaning that it's hidden. Okay, it's probably like, it was entered almost to the second, got executed right away, and they're all for the same amount. And they're basically broken down into many small orders so that, we don't see one big order. So these orders were Binance was basically Binance buying off right here. And look at what happened when they finished all of these iceberg orders, I guess you can call it that. So what happened was after that, this was completely different. I'd never seen anything like this on the on any on-chain analytics, right? So what happened after that was that here, okay, was that here, okay, we got an order block, okay, from all of that. Um, let's see here. OKX came in, okay, and they sold. Why they were fulfilled, and then okay, well, forget about OKX. That's like a insignificant amount there compared to what Binance was doing over here. And then, okay, look at that. It just like skyrocketed, right? And it's over here, okay, that they started selling off, okay, and then they bought again, which is a normal part of, exchanges. That's how they work, right? I mean, there's nothing suspicious about that, but as a shrimp, okay, or a trader, small trader, that could actually give some kind of insight as to what big exchanges are doing. That is my take on it, right? So here they started buying again, okay, um, and here is where the big sell-off actually happened, okay, where everybody was buying, buying, buying. Binance was selling, selling, selling. OKX did not, take part in a lot of these. Maybe they were late to the show. I don't know. Um, yeah, all of this is like, and then, well, and then the sell-off, well, basically is now. So I would expect us to retest a little bit this 800, the 50 EMA, the blue line. Okay, retest a little bit up here. Okay, or retest the high of the day of yesterday, Asia high, and then continue downwards. And if you look at it, forget the noise, forget like, the on-chain analytics and all that. If you look at it, we are it's Wednesday, and I guess we're in time for the midweek reversal, which is a real thing, right? All right, I'm gonna have to refresh because it's driving me crazy. This very slow. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, now here we can see a little bit of up move, but that's on the 3-minute chart. So let's go to a 15-minute. Yeah, nothing yet. All right, now, so this was all selling over here, and now, okay, now there's a lot of buying. Who's buying? Let's see who's buying. I'm only going to be buying or selling when I see these little iceberg orders one after the other. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. Oh my goodness, what's going on here? All right. So here we can see, okay, so Binance, ooh, this is a large order right here. Okay. Yeah, that is it. I mean, it's interesting to watch, you know, but like I said, I've said many times, pay attention to price. Okay. Let's look at the 50-minute chart, and then I've got to go. All right. Pay attention to price first. Usually, we had a small market break of structure, but I don't have a clear M as of yet. All right. And that could. So I'm expecting something on the 15-minute. All right. So here, maybe come back and give me a little bit of that. And yeah. All right. Put a target of under here. 79,035. Okay. I think that is it for me, guys. I also have a matrix uh work meeting, so I need to go. But thank you for joining. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter X. Okay, thanks again for watching, guys. I'm going to end the stream now. Bye-bye.